Well, good morning. We're going to start our week off today, an International Artist Day, by doing something this city should have done long ago, which is to have our own honors for people from this community who have changed arts and culture in America. In some cases, they've gotten more acclaim nationally than they have in the city of Detroit. And so I was really pleased when our greats, art and culture leader, Rochelle Riley, came to me and said, it's about time we have our own Detroit ACE honors. We honor and recognize people from our own community. And this is a little unusual. We don't have the honorees with us today because they don't know who they are. Rochelle is going to surprise them with this announcement. It's something we're going to do every year. And I'm really pleased we're making this kind of commitment to those who have contributed so much. And with that, I'll turn it over to our leader, Rochelle Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am so thrilled to announce that these are the inaugural awardees of the Detroit ACE medals. They're going to be beautiful medals that have the spirit of Detroit on them, and they will rival the Kennedy Center honors, which I am copying because the imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So I'd like to just read them, one sentence about each of them. I know all of them, and I am so excited. Our first Detroit ACE medal recipients are Elizabeth Betty Brooks. She is the person who was the chair of the 150th anniversary celebration of the Detroit Public Library, and she was appointed to several boards, including the Detroit Historical Society, Motown Museum, Detroit Jazz Festival, DIA, and the Charles Wright Museum. And she did amazing work with the Detroit Opera for years and years and years. And each of these awards is given to someone who's given at least 25 years or more of service to our great city. We have this slide that, oh, am I supposed to do it? There we are. Sorry about that. So that was Betty. And then we have David DiChiara. As we know, the late Mr. DiChiara was an amazing founder of the Michigan Opera Theater. He was awarded the Opera Honors Award by the National Endowment for the Arts, the nation's highest award for lifetime achievement in opera, and what he did for opera in Detroit is unparalleled. Robert S. Duncanson. This is a name that all of our children should know. He established a studio in Detroit in 1849 where he would become the most accomplished African-American painter of the 1850s and 1860s. He is considered to be the first African-American artist to gain international recognition and proclaimed by the American media as the best landscape painter in the West. Leroy Foster, graduate of Cass Tech, Detroit Society of Arts and Crafts, which is now the College of Creative Studies, l'Académie de la Grande Chambre in Paris, and the Heatherley School of Art in London. He was a portrait painter and muralist known for many public commissions, including the life and times of Frederick Douglass. He founded the Contemporary Studio with Charles McGee, Harold Neal, and Ari Umbaji King. Tyree Guyton, neo-expressionist artist who studied at CCS and was awarded an honorary doctorate. He's been featured in museums around the world. He was in the Emmy Award-winning documentary Come Unto Me, The Faces of Tyree Guyton, and a Kresge Visual Arts Fellow. He is the creator of the internationally renowned Heidelberg Project. Vera Heidelberg, charter member of the Greater Wayne County chapter of the Lynx, chair of the Women's Committee of the United Negro College Fund, co-chair of the first Classical Roots Celebration, an annual concert sponsored by the Detroit Symphony Orchestra recognizing African American music. Artist Lane, portrait artist and sculptor known for works featuring President John F. Kennedy, Frank Sinatra, Henry Kissinger, Rosa Parks, Michael Jordan, Aretha Franklin, and many more. She was the first woman to be admitted to the prestigious Cranbrook Art Academy, and she's been awarded many things, including the Woman of Excellence Award by the Martin Luther King Jr. General Hospital Foundation. The late Charles McGee, painter and sculptor whose work has been featured at the Charles Wright, the Brooklyn Museum, and the Whitney Museum. Founder of the Contemporary Art Institute of Detroit, he advised the entire state of Michigan and the city on local arts institutional initiatives, and he was the first Kresge eminent artist. Carlos Nealblock, master architectural ornamental metal and design artist, inventor of the Detroit windmill, the first and only fully upcycled low-level wind turbine. He is a founder of Can Art Handworks, an ornamental architectural metals handicrafting studio on Detroit's east side. Dudley Randall, prolific poet and the city of Detroit's first poet laureate. He was called the father of the Black poetry movement by Black Enterprise magazine, and he was the founder of Broadside Press, author of numerous books, including Poems in Decades, The Black Poets, and for Malcolm X, Poems on the Life and Death of Malcolm X. The one and only Gretchen Valade, philanthropist and leading patron of numerous institutions, including the Detroit Jazz Festival and Wayne State University's jazz program. She's the founder of the Grammy Award-winning Mack Avenue Records, and she's the chairwoman of Carhartt, the Dirty Dog Jazz Cafe. If you haven't been there, you got to go, and Morning Glory Coffee. Marilyn Wheaton, she was the longtime director of the City of Detroit's Cultural Affairs Department and the first person I called when the mayor asked me to do this job. She helped orchestrate art for the Detroit Tricentennial Celebration and worked to make Detroit a cultural destination through raising funds for art programs in the city. Deborah White Hunt. Deborah is co-founder of the, let me put my glasses on, co-founder and artistic director of the Detroit Windsor Dance Academy, choreographer of more than 50 ballets, and she was commissioned to create her works on stage for film, video, and television. She is a Kresge Arts Fellow from last year, and she has been running the Detroit Windsor Dance Academy for nearly 40 years. And now we have Shirley Woodson, iconic painter known for large-scale figurative work, longtime Detroit Public Schools teacher, yay teachers, co-founder of the Michigan chapter of the National Conference of Artists, the longest-running national arts organization dedicated to nurturing, developing, and promoting opportunities for Black visual artists. And we finally have, this is very special for me, we have a special Medal of Excellence for the Kresge Foundation. Since 2008, the Kresge Foundation has awarded more than $6.7 million through Kresge Arts in Detroit's Kresge Eminent Artist Awards, Kresge Artist Fellowships, and Gilda Awards. The foundation is receiving special recognition today for sustaining the Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship, Detroit ACE, my office, Sam and me, wave Sam, for providing vital operational support as it joins the mayor's mission to place focus on the city's creative arts industry, which is one of the best in the nation, and to make sure there are opportunities rising all over the city for people to experience art. Detroit ACE is going to be proud in the next few weeks to announce some more grants and awards that we're very excited about, but we want to thank Kresge for being there in the beginning, the middle, and the end. And now we have our next announcement, very special, very historic. We are about to announce the City of Detroit Historian. It's an honorary position that is both ceremonial and educational. This person will conduct research using city records and archives, write monthly about Detroit people, places, and moments, teach city officials and city residents and the nation about the amazing history that we have in this city, make public presentations, and encourage tourism by promoting Detroit's history. We are grateful to the Ford Foundation for sponsoring this position, which will become one of the most important for us, making sure people know who we are and making sure we celebrate that. So, Mr. Mayor?
In addition to recognizing the arts and culture contribution of Detroiters, one of the things that we have not done is celebrate Detroit history the way we can in the amazing play Hamilton. The whole theme is that history depends on who tells your story. And way too many times in this city, lots of books, lots of histories written, but there's a large chunk of this city's history that hasn't been properly recorded, the African American contribution and experience in this city. And so it isn't easy to find an historian, and it's even more remarkable when it's a young man whose love of history drives him on his own to remind people of how we got to where we are, what our aspirations were, what they're going to be. And so when Rochelle Riley came to me with the nomination for Detroit's first ever historian, I couldn't be more pleased, and I will let our Arts and Culture Director make the formal introduction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I hit the button too soon, but I am so thrilled to announce that Jamon Jordan is going to be the City of Detroit historian. to do unprecedented work in making sure that people know how amazing Detroit is. We existed before America did. We have an amazing history that includes all cultures, and he's going to be helping us to celebrate that and teach that. He's an educator and historian who was founder of the Black Scroll Network, History and Tours. After years of leading tours for his students, he saw the need for people to have a personal experience with the history of African Americans and Black people throughout the diaspora. This is especially true in Detroit. Detroit has a rich history from enslaved Africans and indigenous people to being a major station on the Underground Railroad, and he is going to be making sure that all of our children and all of our adults and people around the country know that history. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first City of Detroit historian, Jamon Jordan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Director Rochelle Riley, and just really thank the City of Detroit for having this great history. Detroit's history is so important, not just to Detroit. Detroit, the history of the City of Detroit has changed Michigan, but not just Michigan. It's changed the country, but not just the country. It's changed the world. The Underground Railroad history, way before 1701, when the Anishinaabe, the indigenous people, were here, when the French arrived in 1701 to build Fort Pontchartrain du Detroit down at the river, when we have the labor movement, when we put the world on wheels, when we have the historic and significant churches and organizations and movements that came through the City of Detroit. They didn't just change Detroit, although they did. They didn't just change Michigan, although they did. They changed the world. And although I'm the first City of Detroit historian, and I'm really, this is kind of not, I'm not in my place because I'm used to studying history, not making history. But there are many other great historians who paved the way for me to be here today. People like, of course, Silas Farmer, who is the iconic historian for Michigan in Detroit's history, but people like Dr. Norman McRae, people like Herb Boyd, people who my contemporaries who have taught me so much, people like Ken Coleman, people like Yom Desjardins, and so many other people have taught me this history that in many cases I wasn't alive to see, but they taught it from a standpoint that they were there, or they researched it way before I began researching it. And so I'm standing on the shoulders of ancestors and standing on the shoulder of elders and great historians, and I want to do a job to make Detroit's history important to Detroit first. It's already important to the world. We've seen the films about Aretha Franklin. We've seen the film No Sudden Move. We've seen these films that show and highlight Detroit's history, and many people all over the world are saluting this history. They're on Broadway with Ain't Too Proud to Beg. But Detroit needs to know and understand and appreciate this history. And as much as I can do, I will do my job to make sure that it is important to the City of Detroit.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Our final announcement, oops, let me just get to that. Oh, I don't need the paper. One of the things that I noticed in my role as a Director of Arts and Culture is that a lot of folks who work in that segment, all of our small businesses who are artists, don't always know when the City of Detroit has amazing opportunities for them. So we are partnering with our procurement department so that we can host a vendor fair where we can register artists and others who work in arts and culture sector who might be available to work on city contracts to register as vendors, which you have to be to work for the City of Detroit. We are not announcing the date because we want to know the size and scope depending on how many people sign up and want to work. So if you go to detroitmi.gov/ACE tomorrow, there will be a way for you to register and let us know if you'd like to do that. And once you have gone through the process of becoming a vendor, then you will get, for instance, if an RFP is issued or there's some work to be done, you will be notified that that happened so that you can bid on it. This is our way of continuing to make sure that opportunity is rising for everyone in the city. I thank Mayor Mike Duggan for wanting that to happen, and I thank you all for joining us today. Thank you.
All right, good job.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations. This is going to be great.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yes, we need to talk.